Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Beverager Gamers YouTube channel. My name is Smitty6166, and today I bring you a blind game with a solo cast. Yes, sadly, I'm on my own today. I've actually been off. I've been doing some live streams and things with the people over at the EGL, so feel free to go check them out at, I believe it's egl.tv. I think I'll put a link in the description anyway. So, without any further ado, we shall get on in today's game. We have Crazy Rasmus on Swain, Eurylicus on Poppy, Paretos, these are very Italian sounding names, over on Needly, King Kong Donk on the new champion Jinx, and Ogi on Renekton. And on our red team today we have got Bingle on Varus, Thresh the Apothecary, sounds almost amusing, Rez Joanna on Needly, Gorlock on Hecarim, and the person who is going to be the spectator sort of scapegoat for this game, Ravenhurst on Katarina. So we shall see where this game's going on. Of course, we do have a couple of special skins. We can see the Rainbow Hecarim. I refuse to acknowledge it as an arcade Hecarim. That's Rainbow, I'm sorry. That's for My Little Pony fans to enjoy. And of course we've got the Championship Thresh, which is actually a really nice skin. I do thoroughly enjoy it. And I think that was it on the skin front. Alright, we'll just go around up check. Swain? No. Poppy? No. Needly? Needly looks like she's in the custom skin. Well, that might be the rework, because I can't even remember. It's been a long while since I've seen Needly. So yeah, it's currently the red team with all the skin advantage. So that Headhunter Needly, the Pony Hecarim, and of course the Apothecary Thresh. So anyways, this game gets underway. It's going to be a Needly in the top lane, Swain versus Katarina in the mid lane, and this game is really all sorts of weird as I sit and try and arrange everything. That there, those two there, that one there, like that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this being a blind game, we've got a jungling Poppy. Okay, personally I don't know anything about Poppy, so I can't comment on that. Of course, some of these other lane matchups will be rather interesting. This Needly versus Renekton was always a Season 2 favourite of mine. Of course, Renekton gets really tanky as the game goes on. And Needly, you can build it to be tanky and abuse the head cap when she gets to level 6 and become that cap. But of course, the other problem you then develop for yourself is now you've got a cat that has essentially free roam everywhere. Free roam and can do quite a bit of damage and is quite tanky. So anyway, the aggression now comes out here as King Kong Dong takes a lot of damage. Of course, the tick is going on to Rhaenys Joanna there in that Needly, but she will survive, if only just barely. I wouldn't be surprised for First Blood to be there soon enough. Of course, that bot lane is still looking rather tasty, of course, with Paretos on that Needly, taking that blue buff nice and early. I don't know if she took it away from Hecarim or from Poppy. We'll just have a look as Joanna does go down there. So a nice bit of First Blood going over to Renekton. Let's have a look. Hecarim, yeah, so they actually stole that blue buff away from Hecarim, so well done to them for that. Of course, here comes Poppy coming around. Now, the reason why I suspect they pick Poppy as a jungler is because she has got the stun, and when she does get to, I think it's her ultimate, she has diplomatic immunity as an ability, and that basically allows only the person she targets to deal damage to her, and only she can deal damage to it and nobody else, but everybody else is still fair game. As far as your allies are concerned, your allies can still smack the living daylights out of your opponents, but the enemies can't smack the living daylights out of you. Aspiratus goes very low here, just needs one last shot from Bingles, but really the damage isn't going to be there. He goes a little bit too deep, and King Kong Donk secures that kill. Now uses that Jinx, get excited to close the gap on Apothecary, throws out the zap, but sadly didn't get caught in the flame chompers there, so that won't be a double kill for her, which now has put Needly at a very sweet advantage, being ahead of minions and being ahead of kill. Certainly going to prove it later on. So, this game's going to calm down a little bit, and I suppose we could talk about Jinx a little bit. I mean, she is the new champion after all, and she's an AD laner, and for those that know me the way I like to do things, I do like playing the AD carry role. So, of course, her abilities are her passive is Get Excited. So, if she assists or gets the kill on a tower or enemy champion, she gains I believe, 175% bonus movement speed, which decays very rapidly. You only get it for about 4 seconds. I was about to say 5, but no, it's 4 seconds, just to mess with your head. But It is handy if you want to escape or to continue your chase, as Ravenhurst here nearly gets caught in the stun of Crazy Ramos' Swain. Does a very clever Shumpodo to get out of range, but does get caught out by Poppy as Hecarim comes charging in on his rainbow heals, but sadly cannot close the gap out there. So Rest, Joanna and AOG are going to still continue their duke out in the top lane, but a kill does go over to Swain, which is going to give him the advantage. So this red team's are very far behind now. They are 3-0. Of course, Renekton picked up that first blood, so he's going to become very aggressive very quickly, as we can see with the 2 long swords. That will probably become a brutalizer, which I wouldn't be surprised to go into Black Cleaver. It does stack up very well with Renekton here, as he goes in on the aggression again and picks up another free kill. Sadly, Hecarim is a little bit too late. He does have a fair amount of damage to deal with it, but can't really keep it up for long. I mentioned earlier, Renekton has gotten a little bit too far ahead there, and this lane of Needly and Jinx isn't really closing the gap enough. Onto this round, they have got the damage, of course. The Varus nearly gets another free Needly. I can see what Needly's doing though. She's actually setting herself up as bait, so that way Varus focus is too much of his attention on her. She needs to tank anyway because she has that free heal that she can do on herself or on an ally. And Jinx can sit off to the side and happily fire with the Gatling gun. As Goatop goes very, very low here, takes a few too many hits from minions and goes down. But Hecarim does secure the shutdown with that last tower hit. And Paretos off the screen there also picks up Varus nice and quickly. So, as everything settles back into the farming groove, I'll go back to talking about Jinx for a little bit. Of course, like I said, her passive is get excited, gain movement speed when you do a kill or assist on enemy champions or turrets. And of course, that's her recall animation right there, if you can just see it. She'll jump on a rocket load of fish boats, but sadly Thresh catches her out very nicely there. Ravenhurst secures the kill using the Death Lotus. Very well played there. So yeah, Jinx's Q is Switcheroo. She initially uses her Gatling gun Pow Pow, which builds up attack speed over time. When you activate it, you then switch to her rocket launcher Fishbones, and every time you fire a rocket it costs you 20 mana, I believe, per shot. But of course you can switch back as Pow Pow's attack speed buff slowly decays. It only goes up to 3 stacks, but it certainly makes a difference. As OG here could be going for a triple kill, but no, might be going down to a Needly Spit, or just narrowly avoids it. The Ignite Sick proving enough there for our young Renekton to take it, as Poppy hands over that blue buff there to Swain, who's actually going to recall. But I wouldn't do that. If you know you're going to recall first, then do your buff later. It kind of makes more sense to get more time with that buff in lane. You need to make more of a presence with it. As Apothecary again catches out Parasos, but sadly Bingles on that Varus. It isn't within range to make any real difference. Everybody is now nearing level 6. It is currently down to the AD carries to pick up, especially the Varus, who is down a couple of deaths. So he's only got those 2 Dorms Blade in comparison to Jinx, who's already starting to build up a what appears to be the Berserker Greaves, or could be rush building below the Rune King by getting the components early. But anyway, King Kong Donk is there. Ravenhurst does come in, trying to avoid this flame trompers. That's another one of Jinx's abilities. If you land on it, you are essentially locked up for a little while. The main advantage is, of course, that once you hit them once, you can't be trapped by the others. But it's a very good escape. Her zap is her W, which is the one we also saw where that line appeared. And she'll charge up a shot, take it, and you get slowed and revealed for a short time here. As Ravenhurst gets out, Gorlock though is going to go down in that top lane. And we must change our focus down to the spot lane. Think of directing camera as Ravenhurst secures Jinx rather nicely. Poppy, though, is on diplomatic immunity, but will go down to Thresh, possibly, or at least let Thresh be a distraction as Ravenhurst secures a double kill. And this is what happens when a Katarina gets 2 follows. A triple kill there for Ravenhurst. That's fantastic news. Now, Ravenhurst can start pushing his lane in. When he goes back, he can come in with much stronger items. He's already got that, I was going to say Spirit of his Art, Haunting Guise. That will become Leandri's Torment, sort of in a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he was going for that soon as. And every time those Bouncing Blade hits, it's going to do that burn damage, which is going to be amazing, not only for wave clear, but also for champion damage. Meanwhile, however, it's this Ray Jonah agony lane still going on now that Jonah's finally hit 6 and gotten hold of his ultimate. It's still not going to be enough though to do anything against Renekton, who's got his dominance going. He's sitting there as a big scary crocodile as Gorlock is running up through the jungle. Will he be able to catch out the Renekton? I highly doubt it. Dominus has worn off. he will get a couple of free swings off. He actually gets caught there in the hooves of Hecarim there and his spectral horsemen of doom, but sadly he will be able to make his escape even though he was feared for a short while. Meanwhile, this bot lane still very back and forth. No one's lost the tower yet at the 10-minute 20 mark. It's currently 9 kills for 5, 13.8k to 12.7k. So really those 4 kills are definitely proving to be the 1000 gold advantage. In terms of minion farm, it's still in a little bit in favour of the blue team. As Ravenhurst does get stunned there by the annoyances of Swain. With his ultimate ticking away, of course, though, Ravenhurst does secure the kill and secures himself a nice double buff, which will help Katarina, but if he's not careful, he is going to get caught out there by Poppy. Very unlucky there. And there we go. Jinx is also for it. The last ability I was going to go through, the Super Mega Death Rocket, is essentially Ash's arrow, so it only hit champions. Does no stun, but does a nice bit of splash damage, and it's very good for those long range targets. And the further it's travelled, the more damage it's done. So, that's Jinx fully covered, sort of, in Piggledy a bit, as Hecarim is now coming out. He's trying to hide away from this Needly Jinx, hiding in this top rush. Looking good for a second. There is no ward coverage, thankfully, for Hecarim, so he can hide in this rush quite safely. He can get the XP he needs. Bingles is finally level 6. Does take a fair bit of damage here. Charging up that piercing arrow, gets himself a few free minions. Still takes another speed. Gotta be careful what you do there. And there we go. Well played by Hecarim, but also well played by Jinx to sort of dive out the way. Does get caught though, and is going to go down rather nicely. Bingles given that kill there very nicely from Thresh and Hecarim. Obviously the Shadow Isle duo of the Grim Reaper and War. As the first turret does go down to raise Joanna, to Ogi, sorry, on that Renekton. Now he's going to start chasing down Joanna on that Nidalee, and unfortunately I don't think she's going to be able to get away, because of course he can just sit there, slice, dice, kill the meat, do that massive combo, stun him up, lock everything up, as Ravenhurst there goes in, drops the Death Lotus, tries to drop everyone remarkably low. Hecarim comes in, and it's actually Varus that secures that first kill onto Nidalee. It's Ravenhurst that secures the second. Crazy Rasmus is going to go down. The scoreline that picks up that one, Ravenhurst though going down to tick damage, trying his hardest to stay alive there, trying to kill off those few minions. Begins to recall. Apothecary halves up a few souls and will recall himself. Bingles though will farm out this wave a little bit, try and secure that tiny bit more gold. He's trying to save up enough for what appears to be a BF sword, so he's looking to build that Bloodthirster, or he could be going down the Blade of the Runki route for items. Meanwhile, however, if we look at the items on that subject, with this Renekton Nidalee top lane now being pushed to that inner turret, we have got Katarina, that being my point of interest. Of course, I am watching my good friend casting buddy Ravenhurst. He has got that Blasting Wand, the Negatron Cloak, which is going to become an Abyssal Scepter, which is going to make Katarina, especially if she dies in and does the Death Lotus, even more scary, because now you'll have no magic resist, you're slowly losing it, and you're losing it as you're taking magic damage. Something to fear. Of course, like we said with Varus, there we go, he's picked up a BF sword, so he's actually going to go for a Bloodthirster build, which is rather interesting. Hecarim actually foregoing the tankiness that you can build for Hecarim, it actually becomes quite difficult to kill, going for an attack variant using that Blizzard Elder buff there. Certainly starting to prove its worth a wee bit, giving that red buff over to Nidalee as we watch him. Of course, Nidalee has gone down the full tank route. She has got the Giant's Belt. And Renekton, there we go, as I said earlier, has quite happily built himself a Black Cleaver. He's got the Chain Vest as well to try and tank himself up against the Nidalee Spear. Katarina, though, doing her absolute best. And there we go, the Death Lotus ticking away there, gives himself a 1 kill. Bingles secures the second, and Hecarim comes around going, hey guys! But sadly will not secure himself a kill. No, Poppy is coming down to this lane. Crazy Rasmus will possibly secure the second tower of this game. He knows something is up. Hecarim and Ravenhurst on that Katarina now both doing dragon. In fact, Ravenhurst has backed away to try and see if she can secure that lane, so it's going to be down to Bingles and Apothecary. And there we go, the dragon goes over, the first dragon of this game at just shy of the 15-minute mark, so it's a very early dragon in sort of the general long one. Normally dragon goes down at around about the 18-minute mark. Crescent Rasmus though does get caught out and goes down immediately to a Death Lotus. So Ridicus is going to get caught out there. There we go, the chain comes in, the flay That is complete and total lock up. The diplomatic immunity will not help you because Gorlock will just get out of the way and wait for it to burn away. And Kildicus will get caught on the cages, on the walls of the box. It goes down to Bingles. Gorlock, though, so very low on health. King Kong Donk could have secured that there as Ravenhurst takes a fair bit of damage in the mid lane against the likes of Paratos on that Needly. Now, AOG is actually now on the back foot to Joanna. That Giant's Belt's really starting to prove something out. Ogi now is actually forced to pop his Dominus to try and survive here. A Needly Spear will secure the kill rather beautifully if she can just get that off, but note the minions doing too much damage and changes her focus to make sure that she can survive. Anyway, at the nearly 16-minute mark, looking at the items once again, this time on the blue side, we have got Renekton with that Black Cleaver, we've got Poppy starting to build very tanky with that Warden's Mount. Wouldn't be surprised if that went to a Randuin's Omen. We have got Swain now looking to build a Catalyst of the Protector with a medium large rod. It's a very odd item builder. Obviously he's looking to build Roa, or maybe have that in case he decides to build Revenant early. It's going to be odd to see where that goes. Jinx now is very behind Varus, even though she got that early kill. Varus has now managed to close the gap beautifully with his teammates, giving him the kills necessary. And is a full item ahead now. He's got that Bloodthirster. Though he doesn't have full boots, he doesn't really need it with Apothecary on that Thresh. He's going to provide the Lantern and the Hook for that gap close that he's going to need rather desperately. Ravenhurst dives in again, does a nasty bit of damage. Ignite goes ticking away, but it's not going to be enough. Ravenhurst will survive quite nicely on that. And of course, we've got Needly last with that Chalice of Harmony, and now Needly herself is looking to build that Leandri's Torment with the Haunting Guys first with that Ruby Stone and Amplifying Tome. And we go, Ravenhurst dives in yet again, does the Death Oasis, picks up that kill nice and quick, takes a fair bit of damage, but it is to be expected against the Swain. That Crow does tend to be a pest no matter where you are. And there we go, we can see someone got pulled in there. I didn't see who it was. Oh, it was Gorlock on that Hecarim now, locking up Paratos. Was nice with the help of Varus and that Chain of Corruption. As Apothecary now closes the gap, takes the Jinx Super Mega Death Rocket to the face, takes down all the tower damage he can, trying to secure Ironicus, actually changing the target there, taking out the tower, rather smart there, allowing Ironicus to get away with that diplomatic immunity on, because Ravenhurst is now going to come around. Johnson, though, is very low. AOG is actually taking a fair bit of tower damage, secures the kill, but he might go down just from tower damage alone. He's not careful. He will go down to actually to the minions, and there we go. Joanna secures the kill, and of course, we just saw, sadly on the minimap, Ravenhurst took down Ironicus on that Poppy. So, very well played there by Raven. As this game, though, continues on into its final few stages, of course, at the 20-minute mark, will be the start of the mid-game phase. This is when items should be coming out thick and fast. We'll see what people are going with. Looks like Needly's going to go for that Trinity Force. It's got the Phage and the Sheen there. Hecarim now has also got himself a Sheen, so that's probably going to become a Lich Bane, I would guess. Of course, Trinity Force does work very nicely on Hecarim. He does AD and AP abilities, but not in a mixed way. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. Of course, Varus now has finished his boots. He's looking to build up his zeal now with that dagger. He's still got hold of his 2 Dawn's Blades, so he wants to have that advantage. Jinx as well has also gone for that Bloodthirst. I just recently picked that up. Thresh has nearly gone into that full support build. He has got the Aegis. That will become the Locket of the Iron Solari soon enough. So that will be going into something new. He's going to hold on to that Philo Stone and try and turn it to something. He's got a Rejuvenation Bead and a Fairy Charm in case that ever happens. He needs to get himself more GP10. Needly, meanwhile, the other enemy, I suppose you could call it a support, has opted not to do that, but he's going to stick with that Chalice of Harmony and actually has a Sidestone and is going to start warning up around the map using her passive of faster brush move. And Gorlock, though, taking a fair bit of damage. Ravenhurst, though, finds King Donk Donk and King Kong Donk, sorry, secures that kill. Tries to go for a second, but no, Gorlock is going to secure that one rather nicely. Takes a few too many tower hits and actually gives that over to Paratos, who is thankfully dead, so any buffs he had will now just disappear back into the ether. Ironicus, though, looking to defend this tower, won't be able to. So, the spot lane of Varus Thresh, even though it was on the back foot at the beginning, has done a very fantastic job of closing the gap. And Raze Johnson also doing a very fantastic job in this needly now, forcing AOD to pop his ultimate and into situations where the minute Dominus wears off, he is going to be in some serious trouble. Of course, so that has worn off. Now his health is remarkably quite low. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnson throws his spear now and actually secures that kill, and very close he goes and gets stunned down, but sadly doesn't have a chance to throw that last spear, so does go down there. And that is now a 6-2 Renekton. Nearly got his Sunfire cape as well, so that's going to be quite scary to watch. His split push now is going to be phenomenal. I wouldn't be surprised if they relied on Renekton to do all the split pushing, but of course now this 4-man gang squad of Varus, Thresh, Katarina and Hecarim to lead the charge all now start roaming around the map and start looking for objectives. They are currently up in the gold race. They've got more kills and more turrets. Their bot lane is pushed all the way to the base wall. So now it's just a case of securing those last little bits. Bingles, I'm not quite sure if you were trying to steal away that red puff there, but Ravenhurst wasn't going to let you. So unlucky there, buddy. But yeah, we're currently sitting at the 21-minute mark. It is 3 towers to 2 in favour of the red team. They are sitting at a nice 5,000 gold advantage with 6 kills up. They are clearing waves rather beautifully now. Unfortunately, this idea of a AP carry support, which I don't know who started it or which esports team started it or where it came from, it's not really viable because it's kind of showing now how important an actual support champion needs to be. Someone like Thresh or Blitzcrank or something. Someone who can make the plays happen. Of course, Thresh can make it happen with his hook and lantern combo. You've got Blitzcrank with his hook. And it's nothing compared to a Needly with a spear, who just does a phenomenal amount of damage because she can skill search it from a long range. Right, Bingles though starting off that engage beautifully, using his Chains of Corruption to block everybody up. Ravenhurst securing a double kill. Bingles though secures the third kill, but Ravenhurst takes a lot of tower damage for it. And here comes AOG. And it is going to be straight on to Race Johnson, and Ravenhurst again tanking the tower. Pops Zonya's rather nicely and actually allows the minions to start tanking the tower. That's a tower gone down now. Of course, Jinx in that bot lane secures 2 towers, one after the other. So really starting to show that damage now. She has got a recurve bow. So I'm guessing that's going to become Runan's Hurricane. I'm guessing. It could be something else entirely. It's a very odd item that. And there we go, the Super Mega Death Rocket leaving a smiley face and it explodes. I've never noticed that before. But there we go, Ravenhurst though does take it, takes it like a champ, but will survive. Nearly gets hit by Needly Spit, but that's going to be a tower inhibitor in exchange for, in fact no, 2 towers and an inhibitor, so this red team is still up. They are still ahead 7k in gold. Dragon is back up. So this red team could go ahead and do it. There we go, the Thresh Lantern now allowing allies to escape here. Needly Spears, Piercing Arrows coming back onto Peritos. Ravenhurst trying to regain what little health he can there. Apothecary flying across. Not really going to have much chance in the matter. Ravenhurst very nicely using a Shumpo to jump to an ally. Now Irenicus is out of trouble. He's far too overextended, but very nice there of Crazy Rasmus to use his stun ring to lock everybody up. Ogi though is still going around. We've got Gatelock, Ravenhurst, everybody's out gathered up around Ogi. They're trying to close him out. That Subfire cape is not going to help you against this lot, as he does go down really quick, but the shutdown of Ravenhurst now does come. Crazy Rasmus though is going incredibly low. Petros is going very low. Gorlock does go down with his W still active, so it's just healing him off enough for everyone to start locking out the kills they want. As there we go, Joanna comes out from the back, throws that spear. Irenicus though is going to go down too needily. You've really locked yourself onto the wrong target there, as Apothecary goes down and does force our Jinx to get excited and try and run away. And it will be a double kill there for that Jinx, but she will go down, and Irenicus is in serious trouble. If Varus can try and find somewhere to close the gap, use a flash Q to get maximum range possible on his piercing arrow, he could get an ace. He looks like he might be able to get it here. He's going to try and fire a flash. Oh, so close. It was at maximum range and maximum possible damage it can do without the blight stacks. He's still looking for it though, but of course there'll be no point because Renekton is back up alive and well. So he is going to have to back away, otherwise he does risk giving that blue buff over to Nidalee. Though he does lock him up with the Chain of Corruption, tries to secure the kill, but he is going to go down sadly. It is going to be Renekton that gets that shutdown now, so he is a 7-4, and in terms of the gold he is now 1.2k ahead of the opposing laner, which in this case is our wonderful Joanna on Nidalee. I was going to say Nidalee. Yeah, new champion. Nidalee. The something or other. Yeah, that works. I'm sure it's got something in the works, of course. Ravenhurst and Apothecary are going to start clearing up this dragon nice and quick, so this is going to be the second dragon of the game over to this red side. Meanwhile, though, AOG on that Renekton is going to do a fair bit of damage. It is going to force Joanna to back away. And there we go, Ravenhurst secures that rather nicely. They're going to find Pateros, Iridicus, and AOG all very close together here. It's going to force Apothecary to pop the box to try and slow everybody down. Ravenhurst does look for it, tries to lock everyone down, pops to their closest anyway, gets himself one kill, doesn't quite secure the second. Joanna, very close to a super mega death rocket. Oh, excuse me. Does nearly hit. Iridicus though does change for the engage, but it puts her diplomatic immunity onto the threat. Very well played there by Ravenhurst to design your hourglass up. But sadly, does go down. King Kong Donk though will go down. Gets played, gets caught out by Needly, so that's a double kill over to Needly. And now they start going on to Crazy Rasmus. This is going to be the ace that they're looking for here. So very well played by this red team. They secure it rather beautifully. And now that's all four members. Sorry, Raven has died, of course. All four members of this red team now roaming around, looking for an advantage they can take from this after getting that ace. They've only got a few seconds before Poppy is back up again. They decide to, well, at least as far as Bingles and Apothecary can say, they're going to push in that mid lane just a little bit further, try and get more minions to do more damage to those Nexus turrets. Certainly doing their work in doing so, getting it down to 75% HP. Gorlock though is going to actually start pushing down that top lane first tower. And Bingles is actually going to roam around and going to start looking to do damage to that inner tower. Meanwhile, Joanna is on that bot lane next inhibitor turret, sorry. And it's very close to securing that one out. It's actually not going to care about what's going on. It will actually let herself go down. The tower does fall to her. That's going to be Gorlock and Bingles versus OG at that bottom lane tower. It's not going to matter though. Does go down now. Barris is going to start doing some major damage here. OG's got a lot of maximum health. So it's going to be a nice quick kill to pop the barrier to try and survive. And Bingles picks up that rather nicely. Petros though throws out the spear and just narrowly misses the two of them. It is going to force them on the retreat. As Bingles, if he's not careful, will actually go down to Petros. He's going to have to do something rather quick because Ravenhurst is coming around. He is going to secure that kill rather nicely. Super Mega Death Rocket though nearly kills off Bingles. And it's going to be Bingles that secures the kill there onto Crazy Rasmus. So now that's put this red team at the 27.5 minute mark. A massive 11,000 gold ahead. Iridicus now is caught out by Ravenhurst. The Shumpo is currently down, but it does pop it once again. It's very cool, slow, low cooldowns on Katarina at this point. This is when she becomes really bursty, really quite dangerous. As we can see, there we go. Shumpos does the spin, secures the kill rather nice. It takes a few bits of tower damage for those minions to do that little bit, and we'll back away, let the minions push the tower. There's quite a big wave there already. Joanna now picking up her red buff. All 5 members of the red team are alive and kicking. They are roaming around the map here. They're looking for their little bits of advantage to get slowly, steadily bigger and bigger. Bingles was going to go around by that Baron, make sure Baron was still there. Of course it was, but now it's going to be this red team going to have to make this deciding play. Of course, if they win this next team fight, they pretty much win the game, as 2 lanes now have lost their inhibitor turrets and will likely lose their inhibitors on this push. As we can see here, Joanna is now doing a phenomenal amount of damage already. Bingles is happily hammering away at it as well. Gets that 1 kill done. So now it is a 3v4 team fight here as Katarina is off split pushing. As Gorgos goes in now using that Spirit of Dread to... Not Spirit of Dread, the Thundering Hooves of Death. I can't remember the name of it, it's gone right out of my head. I'm a bit too busy right now. Of course though, the shutdown does go down, so Bingles does go down. Gorlock is going to go down as well, more than likely. Apothecary is now left on its own, so this is going to be a fantastic re-engage from the blue team here. And they're able to absorb it and push it out. Of course, Joanna actually did the smart thing, backed out the fight, and has actually pushed in on that bot lane inhibitor. He's going to secure it, he's nearly got it. Does get caught out by the Flame Chompers. Does go down, as Katarina is going to get caught out, but of course Katarina is very dangerous herself right now. Her Zhonya's is almost off cooldown, so if she wants to, she could go ahead, dive in onto someone she wants to, and do an insane amount of damage. And there we go, a Brunad's Hurricane now onto Jinx, which is a very weird item, but actually thinking about it, it does make sense. Because of course you gain extra auto attacks, so you switch over to Fishman, so you can see her running around with the bottom of your screen. And it's 1 rocket per shot. Not for the other 2. The other 2 don't count, but they still do the splash damage. So that Jinx now is actually going to be able to clear waves rather efficiently. So, in a way, she's becoming like this late game Vayne. Ravenhurst, though, goes back in onto the dive here. Does phenomenally well on the initial damage. Forced to pop her Zhonya's. She is going to get caught out, though. She does go down to a super mega death rocket to the face. So, unlucky there, Ravenhurst. Gorlock, though, does pick up his blue buff and he's on his way around right now. As we look at the items, though, we'll look at the red team first, as they are ahead. They have got Trinity Force Spirit Visage onto their Needly. So she's going to be quite tanky. She's going to be healing herself for quite a fair bit. It's going to be a while before someone can take it down, as Gorlock takes the aggression onto King Kong Dong. It's actually doing a fair bit of damage. In the meanwhile, Apothecary now lending in that extra bit of hand and actually gets the shutdown. Very nice for Gorlock there, but it's going to take a fair bit of damage from Crazy Rasmus on Swain. Joanna, though, isn't going to have any of it, of course, with that Spirit Visage. Can happily take the magic damage that Swain can dish out. Looks for that escape now from the Apothecary Thresh. Iridicus, though, is taking a fair bit of damage. Pops diplomatic immunity. It's only Joanna that can damage Poppy at this point, but it's really kind of the wrong target when, of course, your target is a heavy damage dealer. But, of course, she does go down, so Poppy is now out of the running. It's now going to be a 3-man push onto the Nexus turret with 2 lanes fully pushed in with super minions. Rasmus is taking a fair bit of damage. He gets held down by the chance of corruption long enough for pissing out to come out. Pops his Zhonya's to try and survive a little bit longer. Not going to be enough, though. He does go down. Bingle secures that kill beautifully out. That Renekton now is going to come around. Is trying to secure a kill there to try and avenge. So not going to be enough, though. He does get caught in the hook from Thresh. Is now in the hail of arrows, so he's going to have no health regen whatsoever. Paratos is going to go down, of course, as well. That's one Nexus turret does go down. King Kong Donk is looking for something. Actually gets the aggression on Scorlock, but does go down to Bingles. Very nicely paid there by him. Paratos, though, is going to go down if he's not careful. The hail of arrows this camera goes very low. Iridicus, though, is also going to go down. The Zhonya's Algos does get popped there by Ravenhurst. I think this is going to be a good time to call it and say it was GG here from our blue team, but the game does definitely go over to our red team, so very well played by them. So anyway, guys, remember to like, favourite, subscribe and all that YouTube jazz, and also don't forget that we have a Patreon campaign. It is still ongoing, as when this video is recorded it's still made no money whatsoever. Of course, remember, all your donations on there do go straight towards helping the channel grow. It allows us to get the equipment in that we need. Okay, also feel free to check out the EGL. We are holding weekly, or at least as far as I'm aware, weekly Summoners Cups and Summoners Shields. These are very specific tournaments, so feel free to go there and check all the rules. Sign yourself up. If you have friends and you have a 5-man team, definitely go and sign up. The more teams we have, the more we can spread this, the more fun we can actually have, and the more prizes we can give away at these tournaments. Okay, my name is Mr. 6166, and I will see you all next time.